Just keep your eyes closed, please. As when the moment you wake up, right away you can know for yourself whether it is a quiet, silent dawn or there are sounds of various kinds all around. Same way, the moment you close your eyes, each one of you can be conscious and know for yourself whether it is a total silence of awareness or there are thoughts of various kinds. As even you can be aware of both the silence and sound at once outside, so also you can be at once conscious of yourself, who you are, and all your memories, thoughts that happen to rise and fade away. You direct your attention to the sound of that bird at a distance. You did not organize it. It begins and it ends. You did not initiate that sound, nor is it necessary. To force it to come to an end. You didn't organize this call of this peacock, nor you asked it to stop. It begins and ends exactly same way. Your memories. As you sit down quietly, you don't plan your memories to flash. Thoughts, like the wildlife, just appear, to disappear, to rise, to set. And all that happens in yourself, the awareness. Average person commits the mistake because of ignorance. It identifies with every thought by habit, not aware of himself as he is. person loses himself in the thoughts of various kinds. Like you're losing yourself in sounds, unaware of the pervasive silence. Losing yourself in mountains and trees, forms of various kinds, and losing sight of the formless space that accommodates it all. Please see that. Be that stillness. Always effortless. Like the silence, effortless. The sound begins, ends. You may have to wait for my speech. There is no waiting for silence. It's always there. You may wait for a thought to appear. There is no waiting to be conscious. See that, please. To be yourself, the happiness, the freedom, call it immortality. Sat, the absolute existence. Chit, awareness. Ananda, absolute bliss. You don't need to wait. Shivoham, Shivoham. Instantaneous. To listen to the sound of the bird, you have to wait until it produces the sound. But silence, nobody creates. It's not the call of a bird or the speech of a person. You don't need any external agency to produce silence. Sound begins, sound ends. Silence eternal. Thought begins, thoughts end. Yourself eternal. For a thought to be, you need an external object. To be conscious, you don't need the help of any external agency. Be that changeless awareness and live through all changes. Always in meditation. Suddhananda Divaistavaihi Vedesanga Padakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Samagaha Dhyānavastitadgatena manasa Pashyantiyam yoginaha Yasyantam vidussurasuraganaha Devaya tasmai. See that contrast as you observe. The more and more you observe, see for yourself, you can be aware of all your thoughts, the so-called built-ups, memories of all kinds. In the beginning stages, if you are, of course, smart, intelligent, discriminative, you can be very, very conscious easily. And every thought you can handle, understanding the nature of thought. But the people who do not have that insight, don't condemn them, because every person begins with ignorance. Only informed person will condemn others. Wise one who sees the truth for himself can never condemn, look down upon anybody, or cannot be dismissive. Because for each individual, each problem is supreme. However ridiculous it is, just like a child. If the child tries to climb a step, falling down again and again, you don't smile, you don't laugh, you give a helping hand. Same thing also is like grown-up babies, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. Not knowing they want to be happy with themselves, it's like trying to pick up a sound or a touch or a taste or a smell, trying out various tricks to be happy in life. If you are aware, it may look very ridiculous, but you yourself, when you are ignorant, you must be doing the same monkey tricks. So don't laugh at people. Na buddhi vedam janayat. Neither create any conflict of interest. Don't do this, don't do this, do this. That's a huge mistake we commit in life. We'll continue with the verses. The secular traditions, if they encourage mindless indulgence, pampering the person, do whatever you feel like. Permissiveness is accepted or seen as freedom. The person doesn't appreciate, doesn't understand that more permissive you are in the name of freedom, you are more and more entangled, bound. In contrast, many religions will rule the minds of men with guilt. Don't do this, should not do this, don't look at that, don't touch this, don't eat this. Guilt, guilt, guilt. In the understanding of yourself, in self-knowledge, recognizing yourself, neither there is a chance for guilt, nor there is a chance for compromise or giving or justifying your action, justifying your weakness, or giving a sanction to your weakness. Both are trouble, understand. The person who justifies his weakness, of course, is in trouble. What is wrong if I smoke? Who cares? You will see what will happen. What is wrong if I get angry? How does it matter if I get wild? Okay, continue. See what happens. Consequences. Because the person loses himself, in contrast, a religious, so-called rigid, orthodox religions will come and say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't, everything, don't. And if you do, this will happen, punishment. Guilt. That person is paralyzed inside. Between the two, the person who is permissive looks better than the person who is paralyzed by guilt. But both are useless, because in both there is a bondage. When the religious person riddled with guilt doesn't have the capacity, is so paralyzed, he can't do anything in life. The other person cannot stop doing. He has to drink, he has to smoke, he has to touch, he has to taste, he has to smell. So permanently restless. In understanding of yourself, neither there is a guilt, nor there is a sanction. You see for yourself who you are. I am the absolute happiness. Thoughts, you choose how to handle it. If you are conscious of every thought, and therefore your every action is conscious, you are living in meditation. Every moment is a meditation, every action is worship. The whole creation is beautiful. There is no mindless, unnecessary condemnation, nor there is a dependence, a mindless dependence. You are absolutely free. Now, if a person has done so, unconsciously lost in the sense-object world, which again don't condemn, because that is how everybody begins. When he exposes himself to this knowledge, tired of perception, tired of running around, beating around the bush, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, you can indulge, go crazy. At one time you shall be tired. When you have youth, you have strength, you can organize your escapades. When your body slows down, people are not available, resources disappear. Your own mind doesn't have that strength anymore. You collapse. But such a person, if he comes back in search of the Absolute, renunciation itself will give a big relief. That is why some people, when they come out of the indulgence mode and they get into a denial mode in the name of a religion, they feel very comfortable. It's like punishing yourself. It's almost like a guilt. You are trying to free yourself. I have been mindlessly indulging, doing this nonsense. Now now I'm in a mountain, now I'm in a cave, I'm not doing anything. So you feel comfortable for yourself. Because you indulged, you denied. God doesn't want it, truth doesn't want it, nobody wants it. It's yours. Observe. When you thus sit down, expose yourself to this teaching. Now, even though you understand, so logically you appreciate, yes, I am the Absolute, I am the happiness. Still by habit, these thoughts will come up. That is what Arjuna asked the question. O Lord, why does a person, kena prayukta, goaded by whom, pushed by whom? Papam charati purusha. The average person commits a crime, even though totally unwilling. Doesn't want to be angry, anger overtakes. Doesn't want to be lustful, jealous, passionate. Emotions overtake. How? Krishna doesn't say, ignore it. Who is passionate? Who is jealous? Don't give silly answers. He repeats, it tells you the answers very clearly, which we saw yesterday elaborately. Today we shall see a little more. Please read it. Atha kena prayuktoyam papam charati purusah anichannapi varshneya baladiva niyojitah. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhavah mahashano mahapapma vidhinamiha vairinam dhumena briyate vannihi yathadarsho malena cha yatholvena mruto garbha tatha tenedamavrutam avrutam jnanametena jnanino nityavairinam kamarupena kaunteya duspurena nalena cha. The more you appreciate, you shall understand the beauty and grace of the teaching. It's a teaching tradition, not a cheating tradition. A cheating tradition is trying to avoid everything. See, I have got a problem. Don't worry, it will pass. What? It's like somebody is diseased. Don't worry, it will go. So you'll suffer all the time until it goes. And how do you know it will go? Or who is suffering? Who is suffering? I'm suffering. The ignorant man doesn't have that smartness, doesn't have that wisdom. Who is suffering? To an ignorant man you are asking the question, who is suffering? If he knows, he will not come back. If he doesn't know, he will not come back. Bypassing a question is not solving it. Face it head on. Please understand, whichever, it is such human psychology, whichever things you try to ignore, that is the one who will stay deep within and will be bugging you. It's like a tiny little stone gone into your shoes. You can be very confidently walking, making others feel that you are very smartly walking, but everywhere you know where it is gone. Now it is between the toes, now it is on the heels, now it is on the feet, on the sole. You continuously feel it. Whichever emotion, please understand, friends, whichever emotion you leave unattended, unresolved, that little something, like a mosquito inside your net, will be going around. Like the house fly, it will be landing constantly on your nose. You understand? You can't escape. It must be resolved. So Arjuna asked that question, so beautiful. Oh Lord, why? Why does it so happen? A person, even though unwilling, anichannapi varsneya, baladipa niyojita, forcefully gets himself involved in anger, hatred, jealousy, passion, lust. He knows he should not be angry, jealous, overtaken. He knows he should not be exploding, explodes. He knows he should not drink, cannot resist. He knows he should not overeat, cannot resist. Does it sound familiar? This is universal human struggle. So by chance somebody is eating more, don't say, look at that glutton. Don't say that. He has a problem. That is why you don't look down on anybody. Especially in the field of religion, you shall see circus, circus, circus. Somebody is sitting down with the eyes closed, somebody with the eyes open, somebody is burying him underground, somebody is sitting under a rock, somebody is sitting under a tree, somebody hanging from a tree, somebody is eating chocolate, another is, denying garlic. Somebody is vegetarian, somebody is non-vegetarian, somebody is only greens, somebody is only leaves. You understand? Somebody is singing this mantra, that mantra, only mantra, somebody says tantra, headache. So many, it is circus, circus, circus. If you look at the people, don't laugh at them, because it is not the people who are wrong, it is the teachers who go crazy. The person is desperate, he is looking for something. The person who is diseased, dying, in his desperation shall do anything. If you ask him, if you keep yourself underwater for half an hour, you will be cured. He will go underwater. Finish these leaves in the neem tree, you will be all right. You will finish the neem tree leaf. Why? Don't laugh at him. Look, standing apart, you may say, look at the fellow like a cow munching the leaves. Don't do that. That is why the language, na buddhivedam janayate. Do not create any conflict of interest. Because nobody is a hopeless case. Everybody is beautiful. But you see people doing it. If you are doing it, why? Arjuna asked, Lord, I don't want to be angry. Overtake. I don't want to forget myself. Forgetfulness happens. Why? You see the beauty? Why do I forget? Because you forget, you create the mess. If you don't forget, you will not create the mess. Understand? Any time you have come under the spell of an anger, hatred, jealousy, any type of emotion, any time you have created a mess, if you look back, you shall see you have lost touch with yourself. That is your test. If you are continuously conscious, aware, awareful, your life is free from mess. You don't give a statement to withdraw. You don't do an action to say sorry. Nothing is withdrawn. Absolutely unrepentant. Not because of being self-righteous, but being totally conscious. Absolutely conscious. What you say, you mean. What you do, you mean. Therefore, there is no question of saying, I'm sorry. Never. How does it happen? Kama esha krodha. Bhagavan explains, Arjuna, Kama esha krodha. The two things, Rajoguna samudbhava, Mahasana, Mahapapma, these are the two things which are in every individual. Desire builds up. Understand? Unconscious built up. If you lose sight of yourself, because you are unhappy with yourself, therefore, your mind will naturally throw you suggestions to be happy. You can see, you are lying down outside. Very nice. Suddenly mosquitoes start coming around. What your mind tells you? Go in. Just think, simple example. You are lying down outside. Suppose it's nice breeze, everything is cool. Will your mind suggest, go inside? It's comfortable. But the moment mosquitoes come around, go inside. Suggestion comes. If you are happy with yourself, what suggestion your mind will throw to you? Come on, you are getting a simple solution. If you are totally happy, content with yourself, what are you going to do for the day? Hey, to keep yourself alive and active, you can do million things. That is your choice. Those actions never bind. Kartavyamiti buddhya. Because to be done, therefore, yuddhaya yujjasya. Fight for fighting's sake, action for action's sake, life for life's sake, breathing for breathing's sake, eating for eating's sake, seeing for seeing's sake, touching for touching's sake, experiencing for experiencing's sake. You are a jewel, diamond. Absolutely no problem. Because anything for its own sake. When you do anything for its own sake, why are you walking? Oh, because I am walking. Don't walk. Okay. But suppose you are walking for happiness' sake. If you walk only, your happiness depends on walking. Whoever says don't walk, who are you to tell me not to walk? Logic. Immediately fight. You are eating food for food's sake. Why hunger? Yeah. What are you eating? Idlis. No. You leave that idli for somebody, eat the upma. Okay. No, you forget that upma. Now you touch only one banana. All right. If you are so conscious, you don't say, what do you think of it? Dog, now idli, now upma, now idli. Why are you getting angry? It's all right. Why? If somebody else is managing the show and if he wants me to do that, do that. Hey, he can control my food, but he can control my mood. Outside the people is a fantastic statement, work on it. Somebody can control your food, but not your mood. Somebody can control your clothes, your dress, your language. And life, you have to meet through those controls. However rich you are, if you can't afford your own, everybody can't have a personal jet. You have to have your plane, you have to travel together. When you are traveling, there shall be flight delay, there shall be mess up. You can be thrown out of a flight, you can be upgraded also. There will be engine snag, there will be traffic jam. Life is full of that. But nobody can control my mood. Immigration control, custom control. Food you should not have, should have. This is how you should dress, should not dress. Any control you put, but control my mood, try. That is where comes absolute freedom. Are you getting that point? That is why in this tradition, the sadhus are addressed as what? Maharaj. The fellow will be living under a tree number 20. But is addressed as Maharaj, oh emperor come. What nonsense, what is the empire? He is empire in himself. Absolutely free with himself. So, this can happen. When it happens, watch out. Mahasana, like a glutton, this desire, unconscious built-ups, like desire. Why does it come up? Because when you are unhappy with yourself, naturally your mind suggests. When I am unhappy, the I, individuality, finds out ways to make himself entertained. So some people take secular entertainment, some people are provided with religious entertainment. You understand? Entertainment is where the I, the individuality is pampered. Secular entertainment, religious entertainment. That is why you can be following something for the longest time in the name of a religion, you can be still a slave of a habit. Just like you become a slave of a habit outside, you can be a slave of a habit in relation to a religious practice. But who you are is not a role, not a thought, not a practice. Now, having told it, so he saw that. So, please appreciate Kama, Krodha. Then all emotions. He saw it elaborately. Now, four things he says. Three things now. This is the Vairi. So, these are your apparent enemies. Who? This desire. If you know how to handle it, it's your friend. Because you don't know how to handle it, it is your enemy. Why do we say Jnanina Nitya Vairina? It will come in the language. Jnanina Nitya Vairina. It is the enemy of the wise man. See, here Jnani means not absolute knowledge. Here Jnani means Paroksha Jnanina. One who has got informations at his disposal. At least is waking up. That is why I find it difficult. The wise man has no enemy. That is why his name is Ajata Satru. The enemy is yet to be burned. Because he is so contented with yourself. Look, when is the enemy? Understand. Suppose you are in a jail. Take that example. Suppose you are in a jail and you don't want to get out of a jail. Is that compound wall an obstacle? Even a person who is living in a jail, if he doesn't want to get out of the jail, is it a compound wall an obstacle? Fat iron rods, thick iron rods, are they become obstacle? He doesn't want to go. Most people are in the prison of emotions. They don't even attempt to get out. That is why that is not an obstacle. Only when you attempt to get out of the anger, hatred, jealousy, habitual emotions, suddenly they appear formidable enemies. So most people, they live like angry, hateful, jealous, they maintain that emotions. That is why they don't find it difficult. Other people are destroyed. It is just like a snake. The snake is not killed by his own poison, but he goes on poisoning everybody. So the angry man, of course, is affected with anger, but his own anger doesn't affect him. In a sense, it is with him, so he feels everything is comfortable. That is why people, those who are sick, becomes dangerous. Absolutely, because the emotions are seemingly not affecting them, but goes on affecting others. So enemy it becomes only when you try to get out of it. Okay, now he says, these are three possibilities. What are they? These thoughts, unconscious built-ups, becomes your enemy. How? Three examples yesterday we saw. Dhumena abriyate, this is very beautiful. Dhumena abriyate vanni. The fire covered by the smoke. One example. The mirror covered by the dust. Second example. The baby, the fetus in the womb covered by the womb. The fetus covered by the womb. It's like three different types of adhikari. Manda, Madhyama, Uttama, Adhikari. Adhikari means Adhikarayasya asti, who is qualified for this knowledge. One who is a Uttama Adhikari, the prepared mind, highest type of mind, for whom knowledge becomes like this. He is the first category. Dhumena abriyate vanni. Like the smoke covering the fire. What it needs is little funny. The smoke goes away. Uttama Adhikari is the person, the most, the beautiful, the absolutely prepared mind is who has a very little problem in life. Few emotions. Nothing is very complicated. He is not lost in anything. Complicated emotion is, it starts with a thought, please see, start with a thought. Then the thought builds up. When a thought is building up, you become friendly with the thought. Then that becomes you now crave for the object of your thought. Becomes a strong desire. When it becomes strong desire, if you get it, greed. If you don't get it, anger. And when you are angry, you totally forget what all things are happening. you start hitting people or hurting people. That creates further complications. Now one man your enemy, two people your enemy, three people your enemy, family is disappointed, friends are disappointed, husband runs away, wife runs away. Complication, complication, complication. In relation to one thought, imagine how many such thoughts you have got in life. You have fought for education, fought for your job, fought in your money, fought for your money, fought for your power, fought for your love, fought for your affection. How many fight, fight, fight. How complicated human life is. Think. That is why average person doesn't find it easy to understand himself. Because he is living right in the midst of ruins of emotions. But suppose a small one, little fanning, goes away. You understand? Get out. Absolutely uncomplicated mind. That is why culture. The culture is one which protects you from getting lost. 12-year-old, don't talk at this, don't do this, don't touch this, don't do that. You are happy with yourself, God is everywhere, happiness is yourself. Even these informations are thrown at you. It's little nuggets, you keep it inside. You don't understand. You are not supposed to do that. Don't drink, don't smoke. You just follow it. Why? As a child, you don't have any choices. So suppose that because of that cultural protection, parental protection, it gives you. Why should not do that? You are happy with yourself. Don't hurt anybody. Why? Everything is God. Everything is God. Don't hurt the flower. Don't touch that fellow. Don't kill this one. Don't touch that one. Everything is God. Oh. A child doesn't understand, but it gets into that. So that prevents you from getting your life complicated. But suppose a child is told, do whatever you like to do. 15-year-old, 16-year-old, do whatever you like to do. 8, 10, 12, nothing. Please understand. When the youngster is told not to do, naturally youngster becomes rebellious. But they don't understand. What is they don't understand? You plant a tree. Please see that example. You are planting a tree. When you are planting a tree, you are putting a guard, a tree guard, no? 3 feet old, 3 feet high tree. You are putting a tree guard. Why? The tree guard is not planted to prevent the growth of the tree. The tree guard is planted to protect the tree from the cows, buffaloes, goats. Okay? Same way. When the child is born, 2 or 3 year old, now there is a protection. What is that? Culture. Don't do this, don't do that, don't touch this, don't touch that. That is why, so that you are protected from being abused, protected from being eaten up by the other human beings. An auntie, an uncle, an brother, one sister, other people don't abuse you. It's a protection around you. Don't go alone at 12 o'clock. You are 12-year-old, 15-year-old, you are a young man, you don't know what you are doing. Young girl, you don't know what will happen to you. But today, the world is what? How can I do that? I'm on a 13. I should do whatever I feel like doing. And the society also cannot prevent them from doing it. Why? Because the society has no plan for them. If you have got a plan, that if your mind will be spoiled, you have to unnecessarily fix it, complication to know yourself. Ultimately, you have to know yourself. Therefore, don't spoil your mind. If the plan is there, the person who insists on certain values or disciplines, he knows he will let him go the next step. And the child also feels comfortable because there is a purpose. If it is not there, you don't know how to prevent it. Because the 60-year-old fellow also is going crazy. So 16-year-old, if he doesn't go crazy, what else will go? In a society, if you see 60-year-old fellow also going crazy, 70-year-old also going crazy, 50-year-old also going crazy, 10, 15 years, he is like the 60-year-old fellow has a teenager's problem. 70-year-old fellow has a teenager problem, relationship problem. This man is a problem, that woman is a problem. 17-year-old, 70-year-old, 60-year-old, then 16-year-old fellow, what will they do? Naturally they go crazy. So once that happens, please appreciate. To protect the child, there is a guard. Okay. As if when the tree grows up, the tree guard doesn't grow up. When the tree is 20 feet height, that the tree guard he grow up. He has gone beyond the need of the tree guard. So in the beginning stages, he put this. That is a culture. Don't do this, do this, like that. So once he grows up, that guard is dropped. Why? Now you decide to do or not to do. Choice is yours. So beautiful. So now here. So suppose you are guarded like that, you are lived a life like that, yatha, like the smoke, the fire, or certain times unconsciously you have gone into a mess. So, adarsha malenas needs little rubbing, certain thoughts, like a madhyama adhikari, takes little more time. Manda adhikari, one who is the last category, such a person is what? Yatha ulbena avruto garbha, is so complicated, it has to take its own time. Meaning, you have to really analyze, sit down, appreciate. Now, imagine to such people, without knowing the state of their own mind, the moods, the complications, the emotions and other things, if you tell them simply, sing a song, everything will be fine. Yes, when you're singing a song, you are not affected by it. But when the song stops, your music begins. You have to face your music. Hold your breath. How long? Meditate for 1 hour. How long? A temporary suspension is not solving the problem. But a restless, agitated person feels tremendous relief by temporary suspension itself. If the temporary suspension comes from a movie, you call it secular. If it comes from singing a bhajan or a kirtan, breathing or dancing, religious dancing, you consider it as spiritual. Both are nuts. Temporary solution, suspension, is not solving the problem. You must know yourself. Therefore, 3 things are there. Abhrutam jnanam etena jnanino nitya vairina. Hey Arjuna, these are the person who is desirous of being with himself. These emotions, thoughts, anger, hatred, jealousy, all these things will appear as the enemy, nitya vairi. Like because you are trying to get out of the prison, everything is an obstacle. As long as you are in the prison, you are lost in that. You are lost in your emotions. Average people live like that. They don't know it's a prison. He's a prisoner of his thought, but he thinks he's the master of his thought. He's like a permissive person. Permissive person thinks he's a master of thought. Why? He is doing whatever he wants to do. Hey, if you are doing whatever you want to do, you are not the master of your thought. You are a prisoner of your thought. A master of the thought is, you can choose to do, choose not to do. When a prisoner of a thought thinks he is the master of the thought, he has no obstacle. Understand? So one who starts working to be with himself, such a person will find possibility, these difficulties will come. And this knowledge, what it is, Bhagavan says, Avrutam jnanam etena jnanam avrutam. What is that? Kamarupena kaunteya duspurena analena cha. Kamarupena jnanam, kamarupena nitya vairina jnanam avrutam. Kamarupena. These, in the form of desires, means thought built-ups. If you say desire, you don't understand. Desire means an immediate object comes up. in the form of unconscious thought built-ups. Take that way. In the form of unconscious thought built up, the truth is as though hidden. In the beginning stages, understand. You are still not aware of yourself. Thoughts create the worst obstacles because objects are far away. Body innocent. Perceptions mean nothing. Your thoughts, memories. And I thought, both way. All thoughts as well as I thought. It becomes, that is where the problem comes up. When the thought built up takes place, it can happen two ways. Either an outside agency builds your thought, or you unconsciously build up your thought. When other people, advertisers build it, you are affected by it. When you build it also, you are affected by it. Because outsiders telling, Reebok. Now you say, oh, I must have the shoes. Or you build it up. This is the shoe, this is the plan, this is the pen, this is the watch, this is the car, this is the girl, this is the boy, this is the house. You are building. Or the society says, you should have this, you should have this, you should have that. Secular education tells you, you should have a car, you should have a house, you should be married. The religious person says, you should be renunciate, don't have a car, don't get married, don't have the food. You understand the conflict that the person will go through? You are a helpless pawn in the hands of the secularist and the religious, both fanatics, secular fanatic, religious fanatic. When one pushes you, do this, get educated, get money, get married, get girls, get boys, have fun. Is one uncle pushing you into all pleasures? Another uncle says, nothing doing. Which uncle you like? In the early stages, you shall like the uncle who is pushing you into pleasure. Why? Sugar daddy. Whatever I want, he gives. Then one day you are tired. When you are tired, then suddenly you think, I think I should have heard my other uncle. But by the time you are finished, and the other uncle, what he says, don't do this, don't do this. You feel very comfortable in the first day. Why? You are tired of pleasure. Not that you want to get out of it. You are tired of this indulgence. Therefore you say, this is great. After some time you get tired of denial. Then you think, I should balance my life. You want looking for balance? Come for self-knowledge. Understand? You see for yourself. Then you use your kama, your krodha, every emotion, every thought. Or as kama rupena kaunteya, and this desire covers it up. How? Duspurena anulena cha. Why this type of desire or these built-ups are enemy? Because they are like duspurena analena cha. Anala means fire. Fire means, why they call it anala mean? Alam na vidyate. Alam means enough, podu, bas, madi, Alam. Somebody gives you food, When somebody, what do you say? Enough. Bas. Podum, madi. What ho gaya? Tik. You say that, enough. Fire will never say enough. The fire, whatever you put, it goes on burning. So that is why desire is compared to a fire. Because more you fulfill, the more it burns. You get never tired of it. The more you want. If that is out of your fulfillment, is nothing wrong. Always come back to that. Suppose out of your fulfillment, you are happy with yourself and therefore you are desiring. Desire for desire's sake. Car for car's sake, house per house, this is the balance. House per house sake, anything for its own sake. Why are you holding your nose? Wonderful to nice to breathe in the morning. Great. But don't say, by holding my nose, I shall be enlightened. Che. That has nothing to do with this. What are you doing? I am not touching any garlic. Why? Hey, enough of it. Nonsense, it stinks. Don't say, now I am being spiritual and therefore I am not touching. I am a vegetarian, therefore I have got a halo around my head. Don't talk nonsense. Doing it for its own sake. Or else, duspurena analayena, this desire will be like a fire. More you satisfy, you cannot extinguish that fire of lust, passion, desire. Then what shall I do? Please know that this is your enemy. Who creates this enemy? So desire is your enemy or you are your enemy? Desire is your enemy. Who creates desire? In object there is no desire. Thought by itself is not a desire. So who creates a desire? You create your desire. So if desire is your enemy, who is your enemy? Take the responsibility. Don't say, Satan is training me. Mara is throwing something. The guys have nothing else to do. God, I don't know why God is. God has got a special antenna for you, right? Don't be stupid. Take the responsibility. That is why Vedanta is not liked by many people. Because how many people want to take the responsibility? When somebody says, you are climbing the mountain. Say, how do I go there? Walk up. Other fellow says, ride me. Whom do you like? Who takes you piggyback? So spiritual piggyback riding. You understand? Spiritual piggyback. Oh, you chant this mantra, everything shall be fine. What you have to do is just only give the dollars or the money, rupees. Nothing else you have to do. So the fellow gives everything. And then of course he carries you. How long? After some time he drops you. How long can he carry it? That is why people, what they enjoy, they don't enjoy the wisdom, they enjoy the proximity of this stupid man. Are you getting that? You pay for the proximity, not for the wisdom. You enjoy that. Oh, I'm the number one person around him. I'm number 3. I'm number 2. I'm very near. You can be nearer to a person and farthest from truth. And tomorrow another money bag comes up, this money bag is thrown. Why? The person is interested in money bag. So this money bag is gone. Because your money bag is running out. So the other money bag must be taken over. And the moment a teacher gives you importance for what you have, you shall be struggling through your life to have those things. Why? Because you are enjoying the importance because of things that you have. You understand how destroyed you are. Because if that stops, the teacher will not give you importance. Misleading. Please appreciate. Be yourself. So if somebody says, you have to take that responsibility, not many people are game for it. If the other person says, you go sit down under that burial ground, that the wise man is buried, you sit down on the side of it. They should say you should sit down on the top of it. That will be easier, no? Because suppose where the wise man is buried, if on the top of it if you sit down, maybe the wisdom will hold you. No, you should be on the side, somebody lying down, lying down, lying down. Because on the top now how many people can sit down? Only one at a time. Or 4 or 5 at a time. But side means, thousands can be lying down there around, isn't it? Stupid stuff. You understand? Just sing this mantra, everything will be fine. Take this photo, go on looking at it. The fellow was alive, people looked at him, nothing happened. I mean, it's a nonsense. The fellow was alive and everybody is looking at him. How come only the one or two students, maybe one or two interesting people would have come, they got it. His cook, his driver, the people who are massaging him, the people who are giving him, how come they didn't get anything? They are also looking at him. And now you think, now he is gone, looking at the photo, he will be all right. Mullah one day was traveling and he saw in a melon field, he saw there is a scarecrow, you know, scarecrow? Scarecrow. So there is a stick and on that there is a head. Then the mullah said, hey, what is that head? Then he says, donkey says, so why have you kept it? Oh, it will frighten everybody. He said, the fellow was alive, could not frighten anybody, got bitten by everybody. Now he's a dead man's head. This is what it is. The person is alive. When he was alive, everybody was looking at him. Nothing happened to them. Now you are putting the photo and everybody should fall on flat. What can you talk to babies? This creates a mystery. Tradition doesn't care for dead gurus. Why? Because guru means a living wisdom. That is why names don't exist. Have you seen the names in Upanishad? How many names are there? Iti Susruma Purvesham. This is how we have heard. And no teacher claims, I am the one giving you. No. This is how I have heard. This is how, this is how, this is how. So you also know, you also get lost. It's a massive tradition. Anybody can be a teacher. Anybody can see the truth for himself. Tasmat. Anyway, we shall see all that later on. So Duspureda Anulacha, hey Arjuna, watch out. This desire is insatiable fire. So watch out the desire. So watch out the desire means watch out yourself. You are the one creating desire. There is one verse somewhere says, Kama janamite mulam, Sankalpat kila jayase. Hey Kama, I know your root. Sankalpat kila jayase. You begin with a sankalpa, first thought. Tasmat, therefore, na sankalpaishyami. I shall not create the first thought. In fact, you can play on it. You never create the first thought. First thought comes, don't create the second thought. It's so beautiful, huh? You don't create the first thought ever, you know. You are going, I show you a nice laddu. Are you creating your thought? I am creating the first thought for you. Building up is yours. So do not create the second thought. First one, you have no choice. First thought, you have no choice. Somebody suggesting you, like to go to a movie, first thought. Second one, yours. Want a mango? First thought is yours, somebody's. Second thought is yours. From a book, you pick up the first thought. Perception, pick up the first thought. Nature is generous, giving you first thought. After that, the building is yours. Don't say God is building it to me. Understand? So, once you to be aware of your thought means you have to be aware of yourself. How? Read. Indriyani mano buddhi asyadhishthana muchyate eteir vimohayatyesha jnanamavrutya dehinam tasmat tvam indriyanyadau niyamya bharatarshava papmanam prajahihenam jnana vijnana nasanam indriyani mano buddhihi asyadhishthana muchyate. eteir vimohayatyesha jnanamavrutya dehinam tasmat tvam indriyanyadau niyamya bharatarshava papmanam prajahihenam jnana vijnana nasanam. So deal with this deal with this kama. Are you getting that point, please? Do you understand? Kama. So dealing with desire means dealing with yourself. Are you getting that? Because what happens is, if the person, the desire is your enemy, then the person can sit down. I know this desire is very big enemy. Desire is enemy. Who creates desire? Can you think of? That is why think. Who creates desire? Who created the creation? That's not yours. Doesn't matter whoever it is. You don't accept a God, accept a creator, don't accept a creator, forget it. Don't worry about God. God is not going to mind if you dismiss him or accept him. Existence doesn't care for your acceptance or rejection. Don't worry. Creation exists. That is why you call it Ishvara Srishti. Ishvara Srishti. It is not your creation. If you don't accept God also for the time being, don't worry about it. It is Ishvara Srishti. It's not your creation. It is already existing. Desire is Jiva Srishti. Desire is your creation. Look. This flower, is it your creation? They call it Ishvara Srishti, meaning natural. God is natural, call it God's creation. Definitely not yours. Do you like this flower? Yes, that is not God's creation, it's your creation. I don't like it, I hate it, your creation. Ishvara Srishti, no problem. Jiva Srishti, problem. Are you getting that point, please? You can create a problem out of an object for yourself. Somebody cannot, need not. Mango is there. Does everybody feel attracted? Some people feel attracted, some people don't care, some people say it doesn't matter. Some people cannot take it. Gold is there. Everybody feels attracted? The choice is yours. If you develop an attraction, then you create your problem. If you don't develop an attraction, who creates a problem? Will the gold come and say, come on, don't ignore me, take me home? Will the gold say that? Understand? Ishvara Srishti. So you take the responsibility. And how does it begin? Please see. He gives you the biography of a desire. How beautiful. Indriyani mano buddhi asya kamasya adhishthanam uchyate. Adhisthana asrayamiti uchyate. This desire, how does it begin? Please see. How does it begin? Indriyani mano buddhi asya kamasya adhisthana asrayamiti uchyate. The desire begins, the kama, how does it begins? Indriya mano buddhi. First perception must be there. That there is an object is not a problem. That your eyes are there also is not a problem. But eyes must feast on the object. Eyes must see the object. Indriya, first. So first at the level of the sense organ. See how much scope is given to you. See the whole mechanism of it. Eyes. Ears must hear the sound. Skin must touch first touch. First smell, first sight, first sound, indriya. Once first step is over, then it goes to manaha. It becomes a thought. When the thought comes up, now the buddhi, ahankara takes over. I say, nice. I like that sensation. Can I have it? The child can say, I can want it. Or education says, you should have a car, you should have a house, you should marry this person, you should marry in this household, you should live in this type of house, you should have this type of car. These are the dreams pushed into your head. Already ready-made desires pushed into your head. Are you getting that? Ready-made desires pushed into your head. You should have a car. You have no choice. That is why conditioning. You should have a car. So you are in trouble. And then you go to religion, he says, you should never have a car. Hey, what to do? Secular world, oh, you can relate to anybody. Free sex. Anybody, no problem. Huh? Think. Free world, free relationship. Go to religion, he says, don't even look at a boy or a girl. And he says, a stupid religion. Or if you are conditioned by religion, this society is decadent. Okay. Now suppose you want to take the secular person to your religious group, so tell them, yes, whatever you see, there is nothing wrong in that. Permissive religion. You understand the psychology of it. The thought play, because they are pushing ready-made desires into your head. No choice is given to you. Upanishads do not do that. The beauty of Upanishad, the beauty of the study, thinking is, you see for yourself. My job is to tell you, fire is hot. Touch it, you will be burnt. Stand apart, enjoy warmth. What shall I do? You decide. No swimming, water is a sport. Don't know swimming, you shall drown. What shall I do? You decide. Water will not hold you. Water will not allow to float. You get into water, water means it will drown you. You want to swim? You want to float? You will learn swimming. No, I don't want to swim. Then you will drown. Then don't get into water. Choice is yours. To get into water, to swim or to float or to sink, it is your choice. All the possibilities are given to you. Can you give a possibility to a child? You cannot. That is why tradition. Tell the child, don't do this. Why? Not for permanently, don't. 35-year-old also, don't. You start with injunction, don't do these things. Put up the guard, like a tree guard. Once he is 15, 16, 17-year-old, that is where you have to educate the person. That is where the tradition. Aparavidya, paravidya. Start with the no, don't, then give him the knowledge. Today, that part is completely forgotten because of the influence, strong influence of the so-called secular traditions everywhere. Secular tradition does not mean, in the secular tradition which comes born of this wisdom of yourself, where the religion becomes as secular as even the secular becomes a religion. Both becomes beautiful. You are happy with yourself, you enjoy the secular traditions, enjoy the religious traditions. But in the so-called today's affair, secular means anti-religious, religious means anti-secular. That is why problem. You see yourself. Who creates this desire? First solve your problem, you shall solve the problem of the globe. How can, are you getting that? A person who is a criminal inside, beggar inside, suffering inside, solve other people's problem? That is why leadership is so empty. The whole world is suffering. So please see. So indriyani mano buddhi asya adhisthana. Are you getting that? So this is the asraya. This is how it begins. So first sense organ, perception. Manaha, thought takes place. Then buddhi, you take over. Etaihi bimoyhati yesha jnanam avrutya dehinam. Dehinam bimohayati. Now this individual is completely confused, completely overtaken, overwhelmed by this desire. Itself building up does not know that it is building up. Understand? It's like while eating, you don't know you are killing yourself. You think you are eating, but you are really killing. You think you are swimming, but you don't know you are going to drown. Because you don't know what will happen after some time. I thought, Vimohayati esha jnanavavruttya. And when you are lost in these perceptions, thoughts and built-ups, jnanavavruttya, as though the knowledge is covered. The person doesn't know himself. The first cover for the knowledge is I thought. Then the I thought creates further built-ups. Are you getting that? Now, then what shall I do? Tasmat. Therefore, how do I get out of it? Indriyani adau niyamya. Hey Bharatarshava, tasmat indriyani adau niyamya. Adau, in the beginning, start with what? Your sense organs. If you are a thinker, start straight away with the I, no problem. Go to the root. Who is converting the thought to the, are you getting that? Who is converting the perception to thought? Sense organ. Who is converting a thought to the desire? I thought. So who is covering the absolute? The I thought. Therefore, go straight to the I. Jugular. Go to the jugular. That is why I say, knowing about yourself. Who am I? So knowing about yourself means what? Not repeating. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? By repeating a question, nobody has found an answer. Think over it. See what is the meaning of it. Or don't sleep over the I. Suspend the I. That also will not solve the problem. See the meaning of it. Straight, no problem. But here you are talking about people who are still not ready. Therefore, what do? Begin from the beginning. What is that? Indriyani adau niyamya. Beginning with the controlling. Controlling means what? Start at the level of your sense organs. That is why a withdrawal. Withdraw from the known familiar world for some time. Indriyani adau niyamya. Then go to manaha. Everything has not told. Papmanam prajayenam. May you give up this papmanam. One who desires. Papacharam kamam. Papmanam kamam. Give up the desire. How to give up the desire? Can you give up the desire without giving up the desirer? So start with the sense organ. Now perception close. When the perception close, now look at yourself. These thoughts, who is building it up? I. Now prajahiyenam. Don't give up the thoughts, give up the thinker. Giving up the thinker means, can you give up the thinker? Please understand why the I, the individuality, finds it difficult to give up. Because if it gives up, then who is there? Doesn't know what to do. What you are holding on to is gone. Nothing else is coming. Emptiness, that a fear of emptiness comes. That is why you say that. Know yourself, be yourself, consciousness. When that is revealed, then you say, okay, Abba. Previously, I was taking myself to be a name, a thought. In reality, I am a nameless, thought-free awareness. Okay. Then it becomes easy to give up the role. Give up the role means what? Let them be there, but no more it affects you. So your thought is there, but is no more. You no more losing sight of yourself. So, desire is to give up the desire. Desire is given up. Given up means what? Understanding the self. When you see it, now you are conscious of sense perception, thought of every kind. If you want to convert a thought to a desire and achieve something, for its own sake, do it. You don't want to do it, don't do it. Which one is better? For a happy man, everything is good. What to do? Balance. For secular person, indulgence is the mantra. For religious person, denial is the mantra. For the wise person, indulgence is denial, denial is indulgence. Happy with yourself. Okay, having told this, now he reveals the truth in 2 verses, which you would have seen in Kathopanishad. Refer to that verses. I don't have to take it. Anyway, just read. So he says, how? From that, he takes you back to yourself. Indriyani paranyahu. Indriyebhya param manah. Manasastu para buddhi. Yo buddhe paratastu sah. Evam buddhe param buddhva. Sanstabhyatmanam jahi shatrum mahabaho. Kamarupam durasadam. Indriyani paranyahu. Indriyebhya param manah. Manasastu para buddhi. Yo buddhe paratastu sah. Evam buddhe param buddhva. Sanstabhyatmanam atmana. Jahi shatrum mahabaho. Kamarupam durasadam. Right, so please see, do you understand the whole mechanism? More you appreciate it, totally you stop blaming the whole universe. That is the pleasure, absolute bliss you enjoy. Why? You don't blame anybody. You know, our problem comes in life is because we go on holding somebody responsible. Therefore, that must go. Laddu is, sweet is temptation, so sweet must go. Drink is temptation, drink must go. Man is a temptation, everybody must die. Then are you a man? You should also die. No, every man should die, but I should be alive. What nonsense. A woman is a temptation, every woman should die. Are you crazy? Why struggle? Because of this. Because the moment you hold anything responsible for your problem, that thing must disappear. Because unless that goes, my problem doesn't go. So the moment you discover, I am my problem, Abba, now suddenly you are no more fighting with the whole universe. You know how peaceful you are? Just because of that. You need not know yourself. You are convinced that I am the one messing up everything, that itself will give you a relief. Hayyo. Now suddenly everybody's face disappears. Everything disappears, right? None of them are responsible for my misery. Me, sole architect. Beautiful creation. Thought takes place, manaha, then buddhi. The thought takes place, then I decide. So that becomes desire. So prajayanam. Why? Jnana vijnananasanam. It destroys the knowledge of yourself, knowledge of the world. Jnananasanam, vijnananasanam. Both jnana, ordinary knowledge you can say, vijnana about yourself, both he destroys. The creation becomes a problem, you become a problem. If the jnana is about the world, vijnana is about yourself. When you are ignorant, You are affected by the creation as well as yourself. Now when you hold on to yourself, the I thought, it becomes jnana vijnana asanam. Like everything is a problem. When you see yourself who you are, it's beautiful. So how do I do that? Indriyani paranyahu. Please, he starts with the sense organs. Totally, the sense object world is not enlisted in the list of enemy. The whole physical universe is not your enemy. Are you getting that point, please? Who creates your problem? You cannot even start pointing out your finger outside. If at all you begin with your body. But body is innocent. Body also is not your problem. Is the body a problem? When did body become your problem? Did the body ever demand anything? Nothing. Indriyani, start with the sense organs. But sense organs are also not your problem. Nor they create a problem for themselves. But that is how you begin. Why? With the indriya, sense organ, perception begins. Since perception begins, subtler than the perceived creation, sense organs are superior. Indriyani parani ahu. Sense organs are superior. Indriyebhya paramana. Subtler than the sense organ is mind. The whole gross universe, gross body, the gross sense organs, subtler than the sense organ is manaha, where the perceptions end up as impressions, thoughts of million kinds. Manasastu para buddhi. Subtler than these millions of impressions is buddhi, ahankar, I thought. Yo buddhe paratastu saha. That which is subtler than the I is what? Whatever it is, that is the absolute. Straight away he goes. Buddhe param. That which is subtler than the I thought. Any thought. Long before a thought begins. What is that? Your self-consciousness. Evam buddhe param buddhva. Thus, knowing that which is subtler than this I thought, the source of the word I, aham pratyaya gochara, the meaning of the word I, buddhva, knowing one's own self. Appa, atmanam atmana sanstabhya, samyak stambanam krutva, sanstabhya. Thus, knowing yourself, atmanam atmana sanstabhya, seeing it, buddhe param buddhva, knowing that which is meaning of the word I, stay there, being yourself. Once you are there with yourself, jahi satrum mahavaho, enam satrum jahi. What he says? Jahi means what? He doesn't say kill, give up. Are you getting that language? Huh? Jahi. Jahi Shatrum. Give up that enemy. Give up that enemy means no more enemy is there. Once you know yourself, I thought is an enemy or a friend? Friend. Every thought is a friend. Desire is a friend or enemy? Object is friend or enemy? Now you decide. That is why when a person knows himself, we call him ajata satru. Satru na jata. For whom the enemy is not born. One who has no enemy in this universe. You are at once one with the creation. Your thoughts are beautiful. Memory is beautiful. Perception beautiful. Body beautiful. Creation beautiful. Mathuradipade akhilam madhuram. Madhuradipade akhilam madhuram. Everything is beautiful. There is nothing which is a pain. Whole thing is a bliss. Everything is meditation. So satrum jahi. Language is used. Now give up this enemy. Now give up this enemy means no more the enemy appears to be enemy. In ignorance, it appeared enemy, like snake of Shiva. Like the snake of the Shiva. The snake, understand, the snake which is running isolated, take this, when the snake is running isolated, defensive. You go there, whoosh, it will hiss at you, isolated. But same snake, because the part of the Shiva, when is the body of the Shiva? Gently swaying. No more fear. Jiva, individuality, compared to a snake. When isolated from the whole universe, defensive. Shh, shh. What are you doing? Whoo, no, whoo. Defensive. The moment you discover yourself, your body, your mind as a part of the totality, Shivoham, Shivoham, same I, adoration, ornament, bhushanam. Previously dushana, now it is a bhushana. Previously a curse, now it is a blessing. So are you the only one blessing? Everyone is a blessing. So sarvam shivamayam. Everything is Shiva. Shivoham, Shivoham. The whole universe is beautiful. So, no more desire, kama, krodha, anything is an enemy. Every emotion is beautiful, every thought beautiful, everything you know exactly how to use it. Okay? Please close your eyes. Jai Shatrum Mahabhaho Kamarupam Durasadam. May you give up this enemy. You give up your enmity with everything. Kamarupam, which appeared to be desirer before. There can be no desire without the desirer. So to give up the desire, you give up the I. See the meaning of the word I, which had so many durasadam, who had so many asrayas, so many different shelters. Now suddenly, everything is innocent. You are happy with yourself. And you live for living's sake. You die, you just fight for fight's sake. Action for action's sake. Accepting result as it is. The whole living becomes a meditation. Om iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Sambhade Karma Yogo Nama Trutiyodhyaya. So we saw that Karma Yoga, by the right attitude, preparation of the mind, understanding of yourself complete. Now Bhagavan will see the fourth chapter when I come back, and that will be on the fourth. And then Bhagavan say, hey Arjuna, what you are listening to now has been going on for how many years? Beginning of the universe. Beginningless beginning. Most ancient wisdom. And I gave it. We shall see that. Just begin it, read it, we shall see. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanaham Abhyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manurikshva kave bravid evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. In relative with the third chapter, the whole thing ends. Now, this is where comes the planning of the teacher. For the student, is seemingly over. But what is there to learn? Nothing. The teacher knows. This is beautiful. In time, the fellow will be interested. What is creation? What is creator? What is everything? Those questions may come up. That is why people who say only, know the I, know the I, know the I, then what happens? They don't understand the creation, they don't understand Ishvara. These things remain as a doubt. So what is the question? By chance the question comes up, kill it with. Either useless or who is the questioning? Because you can't explain creation, explain creator. That is why the teacher knows all these things will come up. You can be very happy with yourself. Yes, that way you can live through your life. But you want complete, total vision. Then know about yourself, Jiva, Jagat, the creation, and if there is a creator. Everything, the macrocosm should be understood. Then you move like a uhu. There is no doubt inside you. You understand? Appa, that's Ananda, the vastness. We'll see. When I come back on 4th evening, so we shall see that. Have a nice time. Enjoy.